All, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today guys we're going to be doing our Lancaster bomber build. So we are going to do issue 26 of Build a Lancaster Bomber. And we are going to be continuing that undercarriage today. We are going to be basically putting it onto where the landing gear is going to go. So this should be very interesting. We've got some very small pins. Always a joy with pins, but yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Not really a lot of gluing as well, which is always fantastic. So yeah, let's get started with this one today. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay guys, so this issue we are going to be, the undercarriage assembly is attached to the starboard undercarriage wheelbase. So quite interesting today. So first thing we need to do is we've got these bits here and we've got these bits here. Now we want these to go on to there, and we're actually going to lock them in with some pins. So let's get the pins. I'll try with some needle nose pliers. You need to be careful. I've worked with pins quite a bit now, and I've learned over the time that you don't want them to fly across the room because you'll probably never find them again, and you really do need a little bit of force sometimes just to get them into the hole. Now that's gone through now, but what I do need to do, I'm a bit, I don't know, they've lined, that's a little bit, what's the word, yeah, loose. I'm just going to try and pop it out if I can. Try and have the right tweezers. Just under the point on. Right, I don't know why that is going to be quite loose. Maybe it won't be once we get it in. Might not be. It is quite loose. Wow, I think that could pop out at any point. Now I could, and what I might do after, is pop just a tiny bit of glue just on the ends. Let's see what this one's going to be like. It can be a pain when the pins don't, you know, the hole's just too big for them. Yeah, that one's a little bit the same. So what I can do is pop a little bit of glue just on either side of them pins. If I get my bits and pieces down, yeah, this glue is really going off now. I can tell that because it's going really stringy. And when that happens, you know, it's on its last days. Should be okay just for this use. Okay, so there we go. Get some glue just on the end of my dabber on my pin, and then just drop a bit in there, turn it over, and this is just going to ensure that that pin going to stay in place. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause the camera while that dries, because we're going to be fitting these next and I want them to be all dry by the time I get round to it. So back in a few moments.
A few moments later.
Okay, so they have now dried. It doesn't affect the movement or anything, they still move. It's just to make sure that pin is locked in there. Okay, so the next piece we need is this piece here. Now these are going to be going in. We've got like a little notch just down there, and that's going to go into this pattern here. So just like that. And then we need to screw them in with CM screws. Now I think they've made a little bit of a mistake here because the bag is labelled EMs, but I have checked them against the screws we have. They're definitely CMs. So we'll get a screwdriver. Trying to test, as you see. So CM screws. So holding it best you can. Well, you get the screw in like that. I'm happy with that. And then we've got this one here. Okay, another CM screw. Use my PH1 because you really do need to get a bit of torque behind them just to make sure they're in. I'm just going to check this one is tightened fully. Okay, so they are in place. Next we need this piece here. This is the undercarriage bay. Now this is going to be going in. Turn this around. It's going to be going into this side. Just down into it. Now, not very clear in the instructions. I'm just checking I've got this the right way around. I believe I have. Yes, because in the next picture it actually flips it. So this is going to fit onto there. There's two pegs down there. Then we turn this around and then we fit this in with two CP screws. My problem is I don't want to get any of this wrong, because it is going to be an integral part of the aircraft. Okay, so CP screws this time. Not too tight because we are going into plastic. Okay, so that is in place. Now we need our undercarriage from the previous issue, so here it is. We're going to be fitting this. Now, with the undercarriage like this, them two bits that we put on right at the beginning, this silver two bars here are going to be going into them like that. Oh, that was a nice fit. Okay. Then these bits here are going to be going into some holes just there, going in right behind them. This could be fiddly, getting all this lined up, but let's give it a go. That's one in there, which should help if they told you what screws it was without turning the page. So they are going to go in with the CM screws from the other side. I'll get one of them in. What I might do is just get this one in a little bit, and then I'll get the other side in, and then I'll tighten them, because I think I'm going to need a little bit of movement just to ensure that these go in. The M screw. I need about 3 pairs of hands for this one. Okay, so that's partially in. I'm not happy with that first screw put in. I think it's gone in a little bit crooked. So I'm just gonna try and put that in straight and then tighten this all down. Okay, so that's all tightened down. Now just flipping it over to this side, kind of get the feeling of how this is going to go now. What we need to do is, we've got this cog. Now this is going to fit on just over here. It's going to go on like that. That's quite loose. Yeah, that is quite loose. So what I'm going to do is I might leave that cog off until it gets properly fitted. I think that's the better option on this one. But you can kind of see how the undercarriage is going to work. So yeah, looking brilliant. Really, really nice. Folds beautifully together. So that is stage 26 complete. Well guys, that's it for issue 26 of the Lancaster. Now, I actually just noticed this. I was packing everything away after the build, tidying up as I usually do. Not only were the CM screws labelled wrong with the bag, because they came in a bag labelled EM, and they should have been labelled CM, but the CP screws were wrong as well. Now it said CP screws in the magazine, it said CP screws in the bag, but when I compared them screws to what I have in my screw pots, they were actually BP screws. I measured the head, the length, everything. They were BP screws, not CP screws. CP screws have got a flat head on, where the BPs have got a round head on, and these had a round head. So really don't know what's happened there. There must have been a mistake in the manufacturing process, but if you are building this along with me, then you'll know. And I store all my screws, so yeah, there's definitely something got amiss there in that issue. Maybe they needed to change the names of the screws or something, I don't know. But yeah, the screws we got, yeah, they're a bit confusing. Not too bad to work out, but if you were saying you were given the measurements and you had to work that out, a little bit more like guess the screw in R2-D2 really. But yeah, enough said on that one. But yeah, just be aware that they are not CP screws, are actually BP screws. So yeah, strange on that one, but never mind. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.